The Fox Theater is celebrating a record breaking investment in historic theaters and cultural landmarks across Georgia. Fox Gives, the theater's philanthropic arm, is awarding $1.5 million in grants this year. That is amazing. Joining us live now to talk about the impact of these grants is Leigh Burns, the Director of Community Partnership with the theater. Thank you so much for joining us, Leigh.
Thank you so much for having me today.
I know this is an incredible amount of money. Can you just first talk about this initiative?
Sure. Well, we're giving out two multi-year grants this year. And so each theater, the DeSoto Theater in Rome and Thomasville, City of Thomasville, will each receive $500,000. We have not given out a multi-year grant since March of 2024. So we're really excited.
Yeah, can you talk about investing in these smaller communities and what it means there?
It's so important to them. For us as the Fox, we love the opportunity to bring notice to all their hard work, but it really does take a community to empower a theater. And it's not just the brick and mortar and the preservation that these buildings have in common with us, but the amazing performing arts in these gathering spaces. So it's a great time for preservation. It's National Historic Preservation Month. We can't think of a better way to celebrate than to have the grants awarded in this month.
These are multi year grants. Why did now feel like the right time to expand that program?
Both of these projects are projects that will need a little bit more time to achieve, and each will represent an improvement in community and economic development. So, we really like to work with the theaters in the multi year program, 2 to 4 years, and it also gives us time to find other stakeholders, hopefully, and other partners. It's a process, and we have to ensure that everything done is in steps and in the best way possible.
Yeah, that's such important information. How were this year's grant recipients selected?
It's about a 6 month process. And we meet with other state partners. They apply. We have a grant review committee. We always identify the multi year grants from previous single year grants. So, both of these grants are from a pool who received single year grants before. We spend a lot of time doing site visits to their communities, talking with key community stakeholders, local leadership, and then we make the decisions.
Yeah. We often think of the Fox as an Atlanta landmark, but why is it so important to award these grants to other, rural and urban communities?
We really think of the Fox as Georgia's premier theater, and we rarely have an opportunity when we don't go out where somebody doesn't share with us their Fox Theater story. It's so important for us to give back to the Georgia community. You know, the Fox was saved in the 1970s. It was Atlantans and also Georgians that made that impact, and this is a great way for us to kind of celebrate our success and pay it forward to our statewide theaters.
That's so cool. What types of preservation or cultural projects are going to be tackled here?
So for the Thomasville Municipal Auditorium, it'll be a full restoration of the interior of the auditorium as well as the comprehensive building improvements. In Rome at the DeSoto Theater, lots of support backstage, fire code safety upgrades, green room, dressing rooms, places that the performers will really have their highest level experience now.
I know that'll be so meaningful for them. Why is preserving historic theaters and cultural landmarks so important right now?
I think that sense of place and community, the theater is the place where we come together to celebrate and, to really have that opportunity in a shared environment, dance, theater, comedy, all those experiences that you really need to go somewhere together to have. And I think it brings us closer.
Yeah, can you talk about that idea of community and having a shared experience at a theater? What does that mean to people?
Well, I think especially now with children and with younger people, so much of our life is technology based. And we think about generations before us who had these experiences in theaters and built lasting generational memories. And I think we want that for our kids. We do that here at the Fox through our All Access Pass program and through all kinds of programming. But I think that it builds appreciation not just for the performing arts but for historic preservation, and we just feel so fortunate at the Fox that we get to share all these memories with Georgians.
I love that. And you said everybody has a Fox story. What are your favorite Fox memories?
Oh gosh, coming here with my family growing up, lots of family legacy stories. I've been able to see some great shows. I finally was able to see Jerry Seinfeld here just a few years ago. So many Broadway shows, Cats, Les Mis, the Atlanta Opera engagements, so many opportunities. And I think now to share those opportunities with younger family members and friends, it's always an experience. And, even working here, there's rarely a day that goes by that I don't notice a detail of the Fox Theater that I've never seen before. So it's truly magical.
Yeah, you mentioned younger people. How do you draw in younger audiences to theater and get them excited about historic preservation and just the importance of the theater?
Sure. We have a great program, Fox in a Box. It's free, both in person and virtual. It's available to all Georgia school children, and it really offers them an opportunity to understand the history of cinema movie palaces, civil rights history at the Fox, urban history, preservation. It touches on so many components that really are important for early childhood education. Then we also have our All Access Pass program, which is a deeper dive with 4 schools annually. They come to the Fox numerous times, and it's a way for us to work with workforce development. So we really try to meet children early in their lives and have them through the process into young adulthood.
Are there any shows coming up that you're really excited about?
Oh yes, Squeeze at the end of summer. That was just announced, and then Spam-A-Lot early summer, and then our next Broadway season is just around the corner. Hamilton will return. Just so many great new memories to make here at the Fox. We hope that everyone comes and spends the summer with us and enjoys the time together.
Yeah, I think that's so fantastic. For people who may want to support Fox Gives or learn more about it, can you talk to us about how we get that information?
Absolutely. Foxtheater.org is our website. We also have great social channels on Instagram and on Facebook for Fox Gives accounts. We also have an event coming up next week in Athens, Georgia, an amazing pop up event to celebrate National Historic Preservation Month if you're in that region on the 13th. Just to stay engaged with some of our events and realize that the experience of the Fox Theater doesn't just end with the show, but that we want to meet you out in the community where you are.
I think that's terrific. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you joining us. And what an accomplishment, $1.5 million. That's amazing.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.